Hey, you won't believe what happened with that girl I'm online, Tara. Remember, a one I told you about from the dating app? So we finally decided to meet up last Friday. And man, it turned out to be straight out of a horror movie. We agreed to meet at this quaint little coffee shop downtown. Seemed like a normal enough place. But it was a bit dimly lit and had this eerie, antique look that set a particular mood. Anyway, Tara arrived, and right off the bat she was intriguing, not just her looks but the vibe she carried. Sort of mysterious and intense, you know. As we started talking, things began to feel a bit off. She had an unusual interest in dark and ghostly tales, which I thought was just a quirky hobby first. But as she spoke, the lights in the cafe flickered every time she'd mention something about spirits or hauntings. Coincidence? Maybe, but it freaked me out. Then, as we delved deeper into our conversation, she casually mentioned that she could sense things about people. Out of curiosity, I asked her to read me. Akash, she started describing things about my childhood that I had never shared with anyone online or otherwise. It was like she knew my memories, my fears, like pages of an open book. At this point, I was both fascinated and a bit scared. We continued talking, and she then suggested we take a walk to a nearby park. The park was foggy and dimly lit, and I kid you not, the whole atmosphere felt like a scene from a horror flick. As we were walking, she stopped and stared at something intensely in the fog. She claimed she saw someone from her past, but there was clearly no one there. I tried to keep my cool, but internally, I was panicking. As we sat on a bench, she leaned closer and whispered that she felt a strong connection with me, one that transcends this lifetime. At this point, the temperature literally dropped, and I could see my breath in the air. That was the final straw for me. I made up an excuse about an early morning meeting, said my goodbyes, and practically bolted out of there. On my way back, I kept looking over my shoulder, half expecting to see her or some apparition she might have summoned. So, yeah, that was the date. Creepy, and totally out of my comfort zone. I think I'll stick to more normal meetups from now on, or at least, girls who don't bring the spirit world along on a date. What do you think? Should I dash second date, or just call a priest instead?